It has been raining non-stop for the last 5 days, and today's the first full sunny day outside, and I could not be happier. I could not be happier. I also have a new camera that I'm filming on, which looks kind of insane. My face looks huge, but I really like it. I really like this fisheye look. I've just been working outside. I wanted to read, but work turned out to be super busy. I tried going to a park today, and since it's been raining, I guess all the bugs are out to play as well, and I set up my picnic blanket and everything, and all the bugs were crawling all over my picnic blanket, and I hated it. So here we are, sitting in a more developed area because I just simply could not deal with the bugs. I just wish I could sit outside and picnic, but I can't because I hate bugs. I'm gonna try again another time, maybe when my husband's with me, so that I feel a little bit more braver because he's there. Oh wait, let me show you my book. I'm currently reading How to Steal Your Own Fate by Kristen Perrin. I am on page 22. I've talked about this book quite a lot in my videos. I think the writing still frustrates me a little bit because it's a little tell more than show. I don't know why this bothers me so much, but it's supposed to be set in like the English countryside, and these people are all English, but they speak like American people. So it's because the author is American. I watch enough PBS and BritBox to know what these people sound like, and it's really throwing me out of this environment and ambiance that the author wants to create. It's my only gripe so far with this book. The mystery part is just starting, so I can't really say anything about that. I hope you're having a good day wherever you are. I hope the sun has come out where you are, because I swear to God this is giving me life. Okay, I have a mic because there's planes taking off every 5 minutes. I think I'm gonna DNF this. I'm literally on page, let me tell you, literally on page 30. I just can't stand it. I can't stand the writing, I'm sorry. We're DNFing that. Maybe it'll be better to read in the fall. But right now, I just can't do it. So instead, we're gonna pick up The Missed Connection by Tia Williams. This is an ARC that I got, and it's releasing June 16th. I really, really love Tia Williams. I think she is so brilliant with her writing, especially for romance. She has such a good way of making you really feel what love feels like. I think I've been putting off reading her book because I'm nervous of the emotional toll that it will potentially take on me. It's almost summer, and summer is the time to read romance, so I think it's time to read Tia Williams. I'm ready. I can do this. I can do this.
am more than 50% of the way through this book and I love it. I love it so much. It's so addictive. Usually I love Tia Williams writing, but this time I'm like really obsessed with it. Like I love how she writes characters. They feel so human and real and raw. This has so many different elements going on in here. There's like a mystery because the main character Sasha, she met someone on a plane, like on a flight to Paris, but they didn't get each other's names. They didn't like really get that much information about each other. She's hired a detective to find this mysterious seat F, but they have history too. There's always been a chemistry between them. Even though he was helping her through something that's like truly the most terrifying thing I've ever read, they still had this like spark and connection between them. And now that he's helping her again, they're like igniting the spark that was between them, and I'm like, they're so obviously into each other, but they just won't give in. Like the detective, his name is Wes. Wes is just like, oh, she's obviously not into me, like she's just pitying me, blah 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 blah. I'm like, no dude, she's like literally so into you. How could you even think this? You're crazy. You're crazy. I'm so glad I switched from that mystery book I was reading to this. I think I'm gonna finish this tonight, because I need to see how this ends up. There's so much buildup, I feel like, and I'm so, do you see my smile right now? I'm so into this. I'm literally so into this. And when this comes out on June 16th, I better see you at the bookstore. You would not believe that it rained like crazy the last week. There has not been a cloud in the sky for like a week now. It's so amazing. I thought I would give my reading update outside. I finished Misconnection by Tia Williams, and it was actually really good. The only critique I had of it was the will they won't they part of it kind of dragged out a little bit longer than I thought it would. I wanted to see them happy and together. Otherwise, the romance, extremely steamy. The suspense with the mystery was really good. Solving of the mystery, it didn't feel as like, whoa, that's so crazy. Like it wasn't like a big twist, but I guess that's not the point of the book. It was a romance book. I think it's a great summer beach read. I think it's so fun. Like it was genuinely just such a fun book and such a summer book. So I'm glad that I finished it when I did, because it's just such a great way to kick off summer. And then now I'm reading Into the Blue by Emma Brody, which is a book that's been talked about so much, like so much. It's ridiculous how much is being talked about. I at first was pretty skeptical going into it, but now I'm into it. I'm like obsessed. It's not really chapters, it's just broken into parts. It kind of reminds me of like how a script would be written. Even the writing feels very script-like. I think it's really, really addictive because there's no chapters. It's kind of hard to stop reading. I'm buddy reading this with my friend Shuba, and she's already 41% over the way through the book. To be fair, she did have a head start, but I gotta catch up. So I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna read. I finally created my June TBR, even though it's literally June 5th, but I have really enjoyed writing it down. The last month was the first time I wrote down my TBR. It helps me focus more because I have a lot of books on my physical TBR and I get overwhelmed and end up not reading. That's what I said last month, and it's been really helpful to create a TBR and write it down so I don't have to remember it all in my head. Writing down helps me a lot. The first book, as you all know, is Into the Blue by Emma Brody. I'm reading this currently. I am on page 30. It's slow going just because I'm like super busy this week with dance, and work has been crazy busy. So I haven't been able to dive into this as much or dedicate as much time to reading. So far I like it, but I'll give more thoughts on it a little later when I wrap up this video. Next we have How to Write a Love Story by Catherine Walsh. I have read her 2 winter books. I forgot what they're called. I think one of them called Holiday Romance and Snowed In. I think I read Snowed In first. I really loved it. Then I read Holiday Romance. I really love Catherine Walsh's writing style. I think her humor is so well done. She is so good at the one-liners. So I'm going to the beach in 2 weeks, so I'm excited to take this one there. I think this will be perfect to read. Then, oh my gosh, this, I am very excited about this. This is Victorious. I got approved to get an early copy of Victorious, which is the 3rd book in the Vicious and Vengeful series that she has written. I didn't think there was going to be a 3rd book because I thought the 2nd book wrapped up everything pretty well. I didn't think I would get it approved, but here we are. I'm very excited. Preliminary reviews are pretty good about this book. I do need to remind myself of the plot of the 2nd book. I don't remember it as much. I am very excited for this one. Then, as a historical fiction, we have Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. This is a pretty popular book. It's actually the book for my friend Shuba's book club this month, so I really wanted to read it with them. I mean, everyone knows about this. It came out as a movie, and I think that movie was extremely emotional, so I'm ready to cry with this book. I think it'll be really good. It's supposed to be very lyrical and very beautifully written, and I love writing like that. And then lastly, we have The Odyssey. This is translated by Emily Wilson. I did read The Odyssey in high school, but it was translated by Robert Fagles. Emily Wilson's translation is supposed to be written in more like layman's terms in modern English, which I really appreciated. It's really easy to read, and she's given a lot of notes at the beginning and at the end. I mostly want to get this done this month because Christopher Nolan's Odyssey movie is coming out next month, and I want to have a little bit of gap between reading this and then watching the movie, because I know if I read this right before I watch the movie, I'm going to compare it like crazy, and I don't want to do that. My June TBR minus Victorious. I think these books are so summer, especially the romance and Hamnet. Just, I don't know, it just feels very summery. So I'm really excited to get into these. I think it's going to be a really good reading month. This is what I think. I might add a few books here and there based on like what my mood is, but I'm going to try to balance it out again. Like after I finish this, I think I'm going to go to Victorious, like keep skipping across genres so I don't get bored. This week has been so busy. I have not gotten enough time to read, and because of that, I haven't made much headway into the Blue. Shuba, who I'm buddy reading this with, is already at 88%. I want to catch up, but I just can't. I feel like the writing in this book is so different, very different than what I've ever read. So I feel kind of slow while reading it. I feel like my brain is not processing as I'm reading, which is obviously what I usually do. So I keep having to go back and understand again what was happening. There's also like a lot of characters. Sometimes I get confused. It reads like a script. That's number one, which is already kind of confusing for me. The main character, AJ, and the person she has this like romantic connection with, Noah Drew, are like obsessed. They have this history with a show called Astronauticals. I have a tough time personally when authors make their characters obsessed with something that I personally don't know about. I don't know anything about Astronauticals. So there's a lot of time spent in the author trying to tell me about the show, but like conceptually I don't understand it. So it's like someone who's never watched Friends, okay? I write a book about it. I write a book and these characters are obsessed with Friends, but you have never watched Friends before. And so as I'm trying to do character development, I also then have to explain to you what the show Friends is about and make you understand, the reader, why the show is so brilliant and amazing and wonderful, and why kind of justify why my main character is obsessed with Friends. So that's kind of like what's happening. Does that make sense? I don't know if I made sense, but that's what's happening in this book. I think that's the problem with me taking so long to finish a book, is I get a little bit too much time to think instead of just reading and trusting and continuing to understand what's going on. For the next week, I'm going to try really hard to turn my brain off a little bit and trust that the author will get me to the point that I need to get to. I started and finished Misconnection, which was a really good and bingeable read, and then I started a new book, which was more than I genuinely thought I could do, with knowing how busy work was going to be and knowing that I had a full performance happening this Sunday. So I'm pretty proud of myself. I hope that you start your summer off with an amazing book, because summer is truly, truly, truly all about reading, especially reading outside. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.